H.A. Arlington, Virginia. What is the proper way of joining two people in the salah?
Bismillah. The proper way of joining two people in salah in a row?
No.
Somebody comes late or what?
Someone comes late and there's two people praying.
Tayyib. If someone comes late, one is praying next to the imam, what do you do? It depends on how much space there is in the masjid. It also depends on how smart and how witty the imam is. If there's enough space for the imam to move up, then perhaps you can make a gesture. Or say, Assalamu alaikum. And the imam will be smart enough to take a few steps up. And for the one who's praying next to the imam to remain in his spot. And for the third brother or sister or whatever the case is coming late into the masjid, will join the row. Instead of pulling someone back. The person who's praying on what side of the imam? Right or the left?
Right.
He's on his right side. So this is the imam, right? This is the one praying behind the what? The imam. This is the wall here. Naam. Type. Or is this sutra up here? So, the third person comes into the masjid and he stands here and he says, or he says, Assalamu alaikum. And the imam is smart enough and he has enough space to do what? And then the person comes and prays next to the one who's next to the imam. Everybody understand this?
No.
As far as if it's automatically no space and it's really, really, really close and tight to the sutra, then obviously that scenario won't what? Won't work. So if that's the case, if it won't work, then the third person, perhaps he can stand on the right side as well. Or if he wants to, he can do what? Stand on the left side as well. Clear? Or the next option is, so according to some of the ulama, it's not necessarily the strongest view, but it is a view of many of the ulama, and they have a hadith to support it, even if it's not necessarily authentic, is that you can what? He can what? Gently tap the shoulder and pull back the one who's praying on the right side of the imam behind the imam. And they say it's not necessarily breaking the row or disrupting the row, but it's ta'awun. It's cooperating upon birr and taqwa. And the hadith about وَمَنْ قَطَعَ صَفًا قَطَعَهُ اللَّهُ. He who breaks or severs a rank, Allah will sever him. Meaning, who wishes to destroy the rank and cause chaos, huh? And some of the ulama, they say, no, you're not supposed to pull anyone back. One, because the hadith is extremely weak. Secondly, you're taking his virtue from him. He was there early. Now, why does he have to come back and stand next to you? Everybody understand this? Tayyib. Others, they say, we'll suffice ourselves with that. That's more than enough. More than enough options what to do with the nice subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah knows best. So hopefully the illustration is clear. There's many benefits of these what? Ink pots. These vessels being up here. Not just for decoration. We've used them several times. Naam? Tayyib.
Assalamu alaikum. AC from New York, New York. Can you be in a public place sister that you want to marry to get to know her without the mahram if her father allows and if it's for the purpose of marriage?
Repeat the question, please.
Can you be in a public place sister that you want to marry to get to know her without the mahram if her father allows and if it's for the purpose of marriage?
Right, being in a public place with a sister that you intend to marry, there's no mahram, it's a public place, and the father already has approved of it for you guys to go out on a dinner date or go to Starbucks or at the MSA, naam? Or Ali's burger joint, Abdul Qawi, with your intendant, your Islamic fiance. Naam? Is this permissible or not? I would humbly say that it's going to depend on your lifestyle. It's going to depend on your lifestyle. You may say, how is this? How does it permissible, impermissible depend on somebody's lifestyle? Isn't the ruling of one? I say there's no benefit of me telling you what I think or what I feel unless you compare it to your lifestyle. If your daughter goes to college, she gets on a train, she gets in Uber, she works, she's this and she's that, she's in public places all of the time without mahram men, let alone a place in which she's secluded with a non-mahram man, then what is the difference now What is the what? What's the difference now? We didn't say by themselves, sharing a milkshake. Huh? We said in a public place. Huh, Khalid? A what? Public place with a bunch of people around. Everybody understand this? That's one thing. She's in a public place with non-mahram men all of the time. So why is she in this public place with this brother right now, except for the purpose of marriage? So you say, no, that's haram. Not only is that a bit inconsistent with your lifestyle, you go to school every day, you go to work each and every morning at 6 a.m. on the train, crowded on the bus. You're with non-mahram men all of the time, even secluded in an office, in the hospital, in this and this, that. Now a brother is trying to marry your daughter, you've approved of it. They want some type of privacy, not by themselves privacy. We're talking about in front of her old-fashioned father or mother. And they want to talk about certain basic things, ask certain things, get to know each other, build a basic relationship with the purpose of marriage. Then that's one thing, perhaps. Or even if it isn't permissible, don't have fake piety in certain issues, as we said. Nah, it doesn't mean that two wrongs make a right. It doesn't mean that. But you have to be realistic. And before we go on to the second scenario, I'll say this. From dealing with people, all of these different new modern day fiqh issues of getting married, matrimonial, Muslim dating, this, that. It's haram, you can't show your face, a woman can't be on there without a niqab, she can't talk to a man without a mahram's permission, you can't email, you have to CC, this and that. We would not have these issues, these matrimonial sites. We wouldn't have no Starbucks dinner dates with your intendant if the traditional method of getting married was being implemented. We have failed our sons and our daughters, most of us, not all. There are a few parents, alhamdulillah, that are trying. But most of us have failed our teenage sons and daughters. We failed them. Your daughter is 25 years old. Why is she not married? Young, smart, intelligent, beautiful, righteous, practicing. Why isn't she married? She has to go to school first. Why is your 25-year-old son not married? He's 30 years old. He's not married. He has to go to school first. He has to be responsible. Why is your son irresponsible? Did he come out of the womb being irresponsible? Playing video games? Eating pizza? Laughing and joking? He's immature. He doesn't clean up his room. He has dirty socks all over the place. How can he run a household? No doubt. But who made him like that? How is your son an irresponsible grown teenager? A 30-year-old teenager? A 25-year-old teenager? Except for the father and the mother. So when we talk about the rulings of marriage in Islam, it's not just based off of one slice. It's a whole entire pie. How can you get married? You don't know this person. You haven't dated with the person. You may not like the woman. They haven't had intercourse. They're not engaged for 2-3 years. This and how? Because that's not the Islamic lifestyle. Your son is supposed to be raised as a Muslim from day one. As a warrior, mentally, physically, spiritually, from day one. Your daughter's supposed to be raised in a certain way, groomed in a certain way from what? Day one. The concept of the dunya, of the worldly material things, having this huge house, this huge car, this ton of riba debt, shackling you down. All of those years you went to school, how much money you owe? Car lease, mortgage, this, that. That's not supposed to be the lifestyle of the what? Of the Muslim, period. Let alone when it's time to get married. So oftentimes we're very hypocritical when it comes to the modern ways of getting married. There would be no Quran or Muslima.com if most of the people, perhaps some, but many people, if not most, if they were actually doing what they were supposed to be doing. It's my job to help my son to get married. It's my job to prepare my son mentally, spiritually, and physically from a young age. Son, be responsible. There's nothing wrong with having fun. It's nothing wrong with playing basketball, but you have to be responsible, son. You have to go to school. You have to get your grades. You have to study in the tahfidh. You groom your daughter to be a housewife. You groom her to be responsible, to have her own from day one. And then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, it's time to what? It's time to fulfill your destiny. Okay? It's time to get married now. All right? So oftentimes a sister, she wants to get married, but her father hasn't done the necessary things. A brother, the mother hasn't done the necessary things. Whether it's culture shock, parents are from Pakistan, parents are from Gambia, Nigeria, The parents are from Palestine, and the daughter is American. She's not Palestinian. She's not Pakistani. She's an American girl. The son is Canadian, British. But the parents are still stuck in the village in Pakistan. They're still stuck in Palestine. And they think what worked there, the do's and the don'ts, the aid there, are the same in Canada or the UK, and it's night and day. It will never ever work. Whether it's an issue of race, age, you can only marry someone who's your race. You can't marry anyone who isn't your race, who isn't from your tribe. You have to be your cousin. This 20-year-old girl who's going to school, she's getting a degree in psychology and forensics. How many people in her class are multicultural? How many? He's from Korea, he's Caucasian, he's black, he's this, he's that. Her teachers, her professors, the president, everybody's multiracial, multicultural. Her lifestyle, her upbringing has nothing to do with what? Back in the day. In another country 20, 30, 40 years ago. So the parents, they have to realize, maybe I'm a bit outdated. And if I'm outdated and I can't change, no problem. Let me bring in someone that can help me. Whether it's an imam, a friend, an uncle that's more hip, that knows the British culture, knows the Canadian culture, help me out. But no, I'm too prideful. It's my daughter, it's my son. He will marry his cousin whether he likes it or not. I did it, my mother did it, my father did it, and he will do it as well. Let alone racism. You can't marry a black man. A'udhu billah. Some parents still say this. They say, I'd rather my daughter marry a kafir than a black man. I'd rather have married a mushrik than a black man. As long as he's Indian. Can't be African. Or you're Guyanese and you're from Trinidad. No way. Can't. It will never ever work. This is a reality that many parents live with. Or finances. Where does money come from? Money doesn't come from a degree. It doesn't come from a degree. Money doesn't come from who you are. Money comes from Allah Azza wa Jal, Ar-Razaq. And the list goes on, problem after problem after problem after problem. Allahumma musta'an. The daughter is religious, the parents aren't. The son is on the Sunnah, the father wants to worship graves. So therefore they have to take different routes to find a spouse. Through the internet, through social media, through school, through this, and through that. And then we say, is it permissible? It's haram, they can't be in public. Okay, if they can't go out in public, they can't be online, she can't be online, she can't talk to them on Skype, then you marry her off. Tafaddal. You marry your daughter off. You find her a good mate. How many brothers are like this? Their daughter is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, 25, 30 years old. 11 years. Pass by. Everyone that's come is never ever good enough. He doesn't have enough money. Or he's black. Or he's from this country. Or he doesn't have a degree. Or he's this, or he's this. Or he has a child. Or he was married before. And her beauty fades. Her youth goes away. Her fertility goes away. What's going to happen when she's 35 years old and she never got married because her father never approved of anybody? Or her father never even cared? What's going to happen when her father gets arthritis, Abdul Qali? Her father gets cancer. Who's going to look after him? You think she's going to be righteous and benevolent to her father? You think she's going to make dua? She thinks she's going to care about her father? You ruined my life. I'm 35 years old. No one wants to marry me now. And then you want to force me to marry my third cousin. I'm not from this country. I'm Canadian. I'm British. My language, my culture, my food, everything is British about me. And then the people that want to say, oh, my daughter didn't take care of me. She sent me to a nursing home. It's a reality. As far as the second scenario, if your daughter is on the Sunnah, your son is on the Sunnah, you have a Sunnah household, you're religiously, as they say, strict, you're practicing, all right? You don't have to be the strictest person, quote unquote, practicing the deen. Then that's a different story. No, I don't want my daughter to go out in a public place with somebody, even if it's a public place. A smile, a touch of a hand, this leads to that, that leads to that. No, you come to my house. You're my son, inshallah. I call you son. Even if you're not married to my daughter, come to my house, son. Drink tea with us. Let's talk. Let's go out together. We'll go to the restaurant. We'll let you guys walk a little bit, get you a little bit of a space, but nothing, by yourselves. And it doesn't take 20 meetings. This is my name, where I'm from, kada, kada, kada. I work here. I'm going to school here. I'll be done in this time. I have this. Bismillah. 1, 2, 3 meetings. Khalas. Set the marriage. Ala barakatillah. Put your trust in Allah. Hopefully it works out. You're not fishing, as we said before, from a dirty pond. We clearly said this in many classes. You're not selecting a brother. Your daughter, inshallah, is not going to select a brother because you raised her not to look for low-life people. You raised her that way. He has to be Muslim. That's first and foremost. That's from day one. Nothing about this household is against Islam. She knows that. My daughter from day one. If he ain't Muslim, don't even think about it. He has a shaven beard, don't even think about it. He doesn't do this, he doesn't pray, he smokes, he drinks, don't even think about it. He's unknown. He's a brother that just came out of thin air. Don't even what? Think about it. His brother Abdul Qawi, brother Khalid, brother Salih, that is already in a pond, clear water. Good fish from good stock. Then you can pick and select. In which I don't have to do a major character check on the brother because I already what? I already know him. I've known him since he was a little boy. Now he's a grown, big, strong man. Inshallah, work out where you're going to live. Work out the finances. I'll help you guys out with this. I'll add to this. I'll contribute to that. You stay here for a year in the basement. Tayyib. It's no big, long thing that we had to do. Because my whole entire lifestyle and that of my children is supposed to be what? Relatively what? Islamic. Sunnah. So that's a different scenario. If that's how you live your lifestyle, then perhaps a person say, no, there's no need to go out in a public place and be alone with the sister, even if there are people around. It only takes 3 sittings. Khalas. We're going to live here. I'm going to pay this amount a month. This is what my daughter wants for dowry. She wants a simple ring. Kada. We invite 15, 20 people. We have a lamb roasted. Bismillah. Khalas. Done. Over. That's simple. Everybody understand this? And if we implement the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and if we stick to simplicity, and if we get rid of the jahiliyyah that is dominating, that dominates many of us, our lives will be so much happier. The tribal fanaticism, the racial fanaticism, the materialism of the Muslims today. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي. I can't free myself from this. I can't say I wasn't stained by the dunya. I don't like nice things. Unfortunately, this is the reality. Our lives would be much happier if we lived like this. And Allah knows best. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to help the Muslims, help the youth, help the older Muslims. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to allow the young Muslims to be married and to be happy and to be pious and righteous in their marriages. Allahumma ameen. We ask Allah to keep the youth chaste and keep them far from the many, many, many monsters that exist in the modern world. Ameen.
Hanan Aslam, New York, New York. What is the 2 sunnah before the Maghrib? I've seen it at some masjids, but not others. What are the details of this? Is it authentic?
As far as the 2 sunnahs before Maghrib, perhaps you're talking about the rak'atain. The rak'atain, that's what it means by 2 sunnahs, like sunnah prayer or 2 individual acts of sunnah. If you're talking about the rak'atain, that's authentic. As Imam al-Bukhari and others have collected, that Abdullah ibn Mughaffal radiallahu anhu and others have narrated. Says, صلوا قبل المغرب. صلوا قبل المغرب. قال في الثالثة لمن شاء. Said, pray before Maghrib. Said, pray before Maghrib. And he said it a 3rd time for those who choose to, but it's not obligatory. So once the adhan is made, inshallah ta'ala, you make 2 rak'ah, and you sit and you wait and they make the iqamah. Many masjids, they make the iqamah right after the adhan. Literally like that. Allah knows best.
Muhammad Yusuf from Dundee, Scotland. Please advise one who got rejected from Medina University.
Please advise someone who got rejected from Medina University. Don't be sad. Be happy. Istabshir. Have glad tidings. Everything that happens to the believer of difficulty, of hardship, the thorn that you step upon, as Allah says in the Quran, the nasab, the afflictions, you being exhausted and tired, all of these things that happen to you is a means of good reward. It's a means of Allah raising your status. And know for sure that you must taste bitter before you taste sweet. You must taste bitter before you taste sweet. You think Medina University is just going to come that easy, that simple? You think this beautiful woman is just going to give her hand in marriage to you just like that? No. She's going to play a little hard to get. She's just not going to be married to anyone. You have to prove that you love her, that you want it. Prove your worth. Apply again, a 2nd time, a 3rd time. And if you don't get to Medina, go to other places. Go to other lands. Go to other countries. Study in Scotland. Learn in Scotland. Everybody understand this? That's the best advice that I can give you. Is that don't look at it as a misfortune. Look at it as a fortune. Look at it as a ni'mah that you got rejected. That means you have to work harder. That means you have to strive harder. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't happen, it wasn't your destiny. It wasn't decreed for you. There's no reason of getting upset. Thousands of years before you were brought into existence, it was written that you wouldn't be in Medina. Come on. Study where you are. I got rejected the first time I went to Medina. One reason or another, the paperwork, whatever. I was 18 years old. I spoke Arabic fluently. I did an interview by myself. I had no one else to translate for me. Right, fresh out of high school, literally. Off the plane, just like that. And I didn't get accepted. There were brothers that were older than me that got accepted. Brothers that didn't know a lick of Arabic that got accepted. They didn't know a third of what I knew and they got accepted. It wasn't my destiny. Of course, you're a human being. You may be upset. You may cry. You may be hurt. But you keep at it. Keep studying. Keep learning. Keep benefiting. Go to another country. Go do something. And then that's to allow Allah's decree to take place. And if it doesn't happen, it wasn't meant for you. The beauty of Medina, the wonderful place of Medina, the ulama, the scholars, the masjid, the Jamia Islamiyya, no doubt about that. But it doesn't mean that's the only place where there is knowledge. Allah's earth is ever expansive. That's my advice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. We'll stop here. Jazakumullahu khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.